here at Eldridge Park. We're glad you could join us for some Cape Cod baseball. A beautiful evening for baseball, sunny and 75 at Eldridge Park. The second consecutive day that Orleans and YD are clashing. The Red Sox coming off an 8-7 walk-off victory one day ago. Greetings from Eldridge Park. Good evening, everybody. The YD Red Sox set to take on the Orleans Firebirds for the second consecutive day. YD had the walk-off victory last night after scoring 2 runs in the 9th. I'm happy to be alongside Brad Klein. I'm Will Connerly, and YD on the road after the exciting walk-off win in the 9th, looking to continue that momentum today. And Peyton Graham will lead things off for the Red Sox, going up against Jonathan Cannon, the right-hander out of Georgia. Out of the wind in the first pitch for Cannon. Misses high for ball 1. Peyton Graham off to a pretty good start for the Red Sox. Leads the team with 7 runs scored and the table setter for Scott Pickler today. Graham, that pitch inside, misses for ball 2. Graham was hit by pitch a couple times yesterday, 3 times on the season, and also had the home run, Brad, yesterday. A big-time solo shot in the middle of that game as that ball is fouled away to the left side.
Yeah, I still don't think that home run landed. It was an absolute moonshot. We were just waiting for Peyton Graham to get a hold of one. Had the 11 home runs as a Sooner, as a freshman. Very impressive campaign, and he's been equally as impressive as a Red Sox.
And Cannon delivers the 2-1. It's fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cannon, a draft-eligible player, began the season as a Sunday starter, became the Saturday guy in the middle of the year. 7-2 with a 3.38 ERA in 12 career starts at Georgia. And the 2-2 pitch, Graham hits it to the left side, backhanded by Sprinkle at short, thrown across the diamond, and Graham legs it out. So Graham reaches aboard with the infield single, and that brings up Tanner Smith, the left fielder, swinging it from the left side. So Graham off to a nice start to the season. Has himself on first base for the 3-2-1 YD Red Sox. First pitch to Tanner Smith, taken for a strike. The fastball from Cannon, fastball, slider, changeup, his repertoire works in the low 90s.
And by the way, that infield single, that's one of the reasons that Pickler really likes to have Graham as that leadoff man despite the power, because he can be a really good table setter when he wants to be, when he needs to be.
1 ball, 1 strike here to Tanner Smith, the left fielder. Graham with the lead, being held by Jack Moss at first base. And Smith sprays it foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brooks Lee is on deck. Cannon, 69 strikeouts and just 15 walks through 18 appearances at Georgia during his career. Luis Ramirez, the starting pitcher for the Red Sox today. You'll see him take the rubber in the bottom of the first. And the pitch to Smith, he sprays it foul, spoils it once again. Still a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Cannon comes set and delivers the pitch to Smith, high out of sight of the strike zone. So after Smith fouled off a few pitches, takes the high fastball, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tanner Smith with the 2 runs yesterday, reached base safely 3 times. This is a guy who has a very big opportunity to prove himself to Pickler in the 2-hole right here.
The 2-2 from Cannon, fouled away, and Smith putting together a good at-bat. The 3rd-team All-American at Oregon this past season. So we'll do the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch again as Cannon comes set at the hip. Kicks and delivers. Graham off to the races, and it's fouled off once again. Graham does have 1 stolen base on the season, and he was sprinting towards second base on the pitch, but fouled away by Smith.
He can run. He can absolutely run, and once again, early on in the game, Scott Pickler showing a real affinity towards that hit and run.
We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Smith. And the pitch from Cannon, hit to the right side. It's knocked down by Moss, and then he goes and touches first base. So a nice play by the first baseman, Jack Moss, to knock it down and then step on the bag for the first out. Brooks Lee comes to the plate as Graham advances to second.
And that's a very tough play for Moss at first base because he is a right-handed thrower, which means he had to range across his body with that glove hand, the left hand, and was able to get enough leather on it, just to stop the ball from going into right field, which is where I really thought the ball was going.
So here comes Brooks Lee. Had the 3-run home run yesterday, takes the pitch low. Poses some danger, was intentionally walked in the 9th. Bases became juiced. Chase Luttrell came in with the sacrifice fly, and then Nate Baez with the walk-off infield single. And Lee hits it to the right side. Gloved by Jace Young at second, tossed over to Moss. Graham advances to third after the ground out from Lee, and now there's 2 outs for Chase Luttrell.
Well, every time Lee hits the ball, it's hit hard, and that one was really sharply hit over to second, but a really good look early on for Jonathan Cannon to force 2 really good hitters at the top of the lineup on the ground.
Cannon, the 45th ranked prospect in the 2021 draft, gets the first pitch in for a strike against Chase Luttrell, the left-handed hitting first baseman for YD. Up to the plate, Graham at third base here with 2 outs in the top of the first. And Luttrell fouls it out of play to the left side over everything. So nothing into the count here with Chase Luttrell at the plate. Graham on third base after starting off the inning with an infield single. It's Cannon out of the line. The 0-2 misses low, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chase Luttrell, as of late, is putting together some pretty good at-bats. Had the 14-pitch at-bat a few games ago and tied for the team lead with 3 walks drawn. And the pitch, swing and a miss. The breaking ball got Luttrell. YD strands a runner, and after 1/2 inning, no score, we send it to the bottom of the first on the YD Red Sox Network. Bottom of the first here at Eldridge Park. No score after YD stranded Peyton Graham, the leadoff single, the infield single to start the top of the first. Got around a third but couldn't come across. And Orleans comes to the plate with Luis Ramirez on the mound. He was the game one starter for YD. Both pitchers in this game started on opening day last Sunday. So have both had a week's worth of rest, and Luis Ramirez throws a strike on the first pitch of the game to Jordan Sprinkle from his side.
The bread and butter is the slider. That's what you really have to look out for both the righties and the lefties, and I think that's what makes Luis Ramirez such a unique starter.
Ramirez with the fastball there, and it's fouled away to the left side here against Jordan Sprinkle. Been a mainstay in Orleans' top of the order through 5 games. The Firebirds 2-3, Sprinkle 6 runs scored. So far to pace the offense, 4 of 17 with a .235 average so far this season. The 0-2 pitch from Ramirez, hit toward the right side, and it's caught in right field for the first out. Graham over there in right to make the play. Graham in right, Williams in center, Smith in left, Hoffman at second, Luttrell at first, Brooks Lee at short, and Zach Liu at third base. Here's the designated hitter, Ryland Thomas, has really played well to start the season for the Firebirds. 7 of 14. Out of USC, where he hit just an eye less shy of 300 in the 2021 season. And the 1-0 pitch from Ramirez. It's hit toward the left side. Coming in on it is Smith, and he makes the catch. So 2 quick pop outs and 2 quick outs for Luis Ramirez here in the bottom of the first.
That's exactly what you want to see from Ramirez. Work efficiently, gets 2 weak contact outs, and now you have your work cut out for you with Connor Cox.
Connor Cox, 5 for 18 so far on the season. The center fielder up to the plate here with 2 outs. And the slider in there for a strike from Ramirez. You talked with Ramirez yesterday, and he mentioned that slider really is what needs to work for him. That's his go-to pitch, and we saw that in his first outing when he went 5 strong.
The reason I say it's such a unique asset for him is because he likes to go to the slider against the righties and the lefties. Typically there's an affinity, a preference for that go-to breaking pitch against either side of the plate. But no, Luis Ramirez uses the same pitch differently against different-handedness.
Ramirez with an effective slider that plays to both sides. And that ball fouled away to the right side here against Connor Cox, the center fielder. These two know each other just a little bit. Both played collegiate baseball at Long Beach State. Ramirez did mention he might pump the sliders here to Cox. We'll see what he goes to here, though, in a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the first. Ramirez out of the wind, the pitch. High fastball, and Cox stays alive by fouling it out to the right side. 434 to center field here at Eldridge Park. You got to hit that ball 1.5 miles to get it out of dead center. Ramirez.
And there's wind blowing in from center towards home.
And that ball popped up toward the left side. Brooks Lee goes back on it, makes the play, and 3 pop-outs for Ramirez. He retires to the side in order. No score after 1 inning of play here at Eldridge Park. Top of the second, no score. YD to the plate. Nate Baez, the catcher, to lead things off in the top of the second. Happy to be alongside Brad Klein. I'm Will Connerly, and a beautiful day for baseball here at Eldridge Park. A quarter till 6 o'clock, the sun out, and a strike thrown by Cannon. First pitch he fires here in the top of the second. The right-hander out of Georgia, a rising sophomore, but draft eligible. That ball hit well by Baez on the ground, though. Great play made by Sprinkle at short, throws it across, but it gets away from Moss, the first baseman. And so Baez, who hit the ball on the ground, it forced Sprinkle to make a good play at short. He did field it cleanly, but the throw went wide of Moss at first, and Baez finds himself on first base. Last two ground balls that Baez has hit, then ground balls have caused tough plays by infielders. And, of course, the second to last one came in the form of a walk-off last night.
That was a big deal, and we talked about that a little bit at the top of the broadcast, but Baez just putting the ball in play when YD needed him to and forced the other team to make a play.
He forced Locklear to make a play last night in the ninth, threw it across the diamond, and it allowed Peyton Graham to score the winning run. Here in the top of the second, ground ball over to Sprinkle. Tough play to make, throws it across over to Moss, and it's ruled as a hit. So back-to-back at-bats for Baez, and they're both infield singles. Drew Compton to the plate. The switch-hitting designated hitter up with one aboard, nobody out here in the top of the second. The pitch from Cannon, a swing and a miss by Compton. So 0-2 the count.
Now, Compton's a guy that could really use a knock here. Really struggled so far as a Red Sox.
The 0-2, and he's rung up with the fastball on the outside corner for the first out that Cannon records here in the top of the second after he catches Compton looking.
And on 2 strikes, you have to protect the plate, but the obvious thing that right there was that Compton was sitting on a breaking ball, got the heater, and was just frozen.
Williams swinging on the first offering, grounder to the shortstop. Sprinkle steps on second, throws it across to first base, and it's a double play. Crafty play by the shortstop. Sprinkle steps on second base, throws it over to first, and a ground ball double play to end the top of the second. To the bottom frame of the second we go. No score here from Eldridge Park. Bottom of the second, no score. Ramirez had a pretty good first inning. 3 pop-outs, 1 to right, 1 to left, and 1 to the shortstop. Brooks Lee set down Orleans in order, and now he's got 4, 5, and 6 due up here in the bottom of the second. No score so far here from Eldridge Park. Bottom of the second, first pitch from Ramirez is a strike. to Jace Young, the left-handed power-hitting second baseman. Has had a slow start here in the Cape Cod League, but expect that to change pretty quickly. Was the Big 12 Player of the Year with 20-plus home runs, 4 for 21 so far on the Cape. That ball sprayed well towards center field. Williams is back. That ball is down to the wall, the 434 wall in center field. Young is around second, and he slides into third with a leadoff triple in the bottom of the second.
Well, Jace Young robbed by circumstance. That ball is out of every other park on the Cape. Not only is it out, it is way out. He probably hit that one 370 at least. Probably 390.
That's out of some major league parks.
He smoked it. It took, 3-4 bounces to get to the 430 wall? That one was torched. And we kept on saying, you alluded to it, hey, here's Jace Young, the power-hitting middle infielder. Slow start so far. We've been waiting for that. And there it is.
As Young torches a triple to center field, Luis Ramirez going to have to work around a little trouble. Got a runner on third in Young after the triple, and it's Tyler Locklear at the plate. 7 runs driven in on the season for the Firebirds, which paces the offense. Ramirez comes set and delivers the slider. It misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Young with the triple. And Firebirds fans excited to see that. When you come around the Cape, he was one of the top players to look out for after the season he put up just in his rookie campaign at Texas Tech. Locklear at the plate, and the 1-1 from Ramirez misses high. 2 balls and a strike.
So now if you're Ramirez, you basically have been gifted 90 feet. Because again, that ball is out of every other Cape ballpark. So now you have to figure out, okay, how do I use this to my advantage? Get a strikeout here. Get a weak pop-up. Maybe try to keep it close enough where Young has to stay put at third.
The 2-1 pitch here from Ramirez. It's hit to the right side. Hoffman comes up on it at second base to make the play. It was hit decently over to the right side at second. Hoffman ran in a few steps, catches it in the air for the first out here in the bottom of the second.
That's exactly it. That's exactly what Luis Ramirez needed. And I'll tell you what, that was actually some pretty hard contact by Locklear. But channel your inner first inning. We were talking a lot about weak contact forced by Luis Ramirez. Can he continue to do it, especially with the front door slider against the lefties here?
Chase DeLauder to the plate, 3 for 16 so far on the season as he fouls the first pitch away from Ramirez down the right field line. 0-1 the count. DeLauder out of James Madison. Caught fire towards the end of the season, hitting .500 in the team's last 8 games. Off to a 3 for 16 start here in the Cape with 1 home run. Ramirez comes set, the 0-1, misses low, 1 ball, 1 strike, with Young waiting at third after the leadoff triple here in the bottom of the second.
Now the infield in here, I like the move. With how good Orleans has been largely, and it's tough to beat a team twice in a row. Every run counts.
Ramirez with the pitch. The slider nips the strike zone. And a key pitch right there by Ramirez, trying to work around the leadoff triple. And now he's got a ball and 2 strikes here to Chase DeLauder, the left-handed hitting right fielder. Has 3 hits on the season, one of which was a home run. Ramirez in his second start of the year. The pitch is called strike 3, the slider, and now there's 2 outs. 1 pitch away is Ramirez from working out of the jam here after surrendering the leadoff triple to Jace Young.
Unbelievable pitch, and I called it. That front door slider to the lefties is absolutely stifling. And nothing that DeLauder can do there.
Ramirez led up the leadoff triple to Young, but got the out to Wyatt Hoffman at second. And then the strikeout to the Lauder. Here comes Jared McKenzie. And that ball in the dirt, but nice stop by Nate Baez, who's getting his first start at the backstop. Has seen some action off the bench catching. From Arizona State, was last night's hero. Had the double to bring YD within one, and then came through with the walk-off single in the ninth. After the Red Sox completed the walk-off win. The 1-0 pitch here from Ramirez is hit to the right side. Hoffman catches it, and the leadoff triple goes to waste for Orleans. And after 2 frames, we're scoreless. To the third we go on the YD Red Sox Network.
Top of the third inning, Brad Klein and Will Connerly happy to be with you from Eldridge Park in Orleans, Massachusetts. And YD in Orleans scoreless in this third inning, the second of a home and home. Wyatt Hoffman leading off for the Red Sox and chops it foul right back to us, to the netting.
Yeah, the netting.
You good?
The netting typically will stop all the balls coming, but someone next to me got scared and tried to take cover, but.
That's Hannah.
Okay.
Hannah, the social media manager. Terrified. Cannon deals lined into center field, and Hoffman has himself a leadoff single in the bottom of the third. Make that top of the third.
Nice piece of hitting right there by Hoffman. Stayed through it, hit it up the middle to center, and just like the first, you're able to get a leadoff. Actually, the third straight inning, Brad, leadoff single. See, though, the first 2 times, YD wasn't able to score. See if they can't do it here.
Well, you talk a lot about wasting leadoff base runners. How about Orleans in the last frame? Wasting Jace Young's leadoff triple to dead center field, which went about, by my estimation, 400 feet.
Yeah, he smoked that ball. That's gone to some major league parks.
Oh, yeah.
Eldridge Park to center field is deeper than any major league park to center field. 434.
So here's Zach Liu seeing his first start as a Red Sox, and he grounds it over to the left side. Could be 2. The third baseman Locklear on to second, on to first. It's a double play.
I mean, that's great defense right there. That's the second double play that the Red Sox have hit into in this game, just in the third inning. And when you talk about getting the leadoff guy on, that gives you a high percentage chance to score. They've done it 3 innings in a row here in the top of the third, but 2 double plays have spoiled that chance of scoring for YD at both times.
That brings up the top of the order. 2 outs, no one on. Top of the third inning, no score, and Peyton Graham lays off the slider from Cannon from ball 1. Oh, Graham with an infield single to start this game off. Had the home run against Orleans in YD yesterday. Another breaking ball, this one taken in the dirt, 2-0 the count.
Nice to see him showcase his power, big frame, and still has a chance to put some more muscle, more weight on that frame, but already had a really good power hitting season at Oklahoma.
Infield shaded over to the left, the second baseman Young playing pretty much right on top of the second base bag, and the fastball misses inside. 3-0. Peyton Graham is ahead. Cannon working from the windup. Comes set, deals, and the fastball misses high above the letters, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs for Peyton Graham, and Tanner Smith at the dish, the left fielder.
And Smith actually hit the ball pretty well last time to the first baseman, Jack Moss. Moss backhanded it, knocked it down, and then went to step on the first base bag. Just was a little out in front of it and rolled over, but seemed like he actually saw Cannon pretty well throughout the duration of that at-bat.
Tanner Smith from Oregon. The lefty takes the first pitch fastball for strike 1, almost like a get-me-over fastball on the first pitch of the count.
Want to get ahead, of course, that's how you can go deep in games as a starting pitcher. Cannon had really impressive work in his first start.
Count even at 1-1 now as the fastball misses just off the plate wide. Now Cannon has actually done a pretty good job attacking the strike zone. 24 strikes already thrown.
And that's how you can be effective and efficient. Less than 60 pitches he threw in his first start, 4 shutout.
And Smith waves at the breaking ball in the dirt. 2-1 the count now, and the catcher Guillemette flipped his mask to try to chase back the runner Graham at first, and Graham actually took his time. He was staring down Guillemette, daring him to throw.
Like that play from Graham right there.
So some nonverbal communication between two players wearing different jerseys 90 feet away. Runner goes, chop foul down the first base side for Tanner Smith. So the count is even at 2-2. And Peyton Graham, actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than looks as well. He's running on Guillemette, daring him to throw once again.
Yeah, that nonverbal communication turned into the communication where he could actually pick up that information. And Graham, not afraid to run, has great speed at the top of the lineup.
No score on the top of the third inning. The 2-2 to Smith as the runner goes. That's line foul back to the screen, so we'll do it again.
Near the dugout, cheering on Smith, saying, come on, win it. He's been battling in this at-bat just as he did in his first time at the plate. Had multiple foul balls. The count ran full. Then he put a good swing on it. And a chance here for Whitey to produce a good at-bat with Brooks Lee on deck.
Here's the 8th pitch of the at-bat. 2-2 count. Graham not going. Line to left field. McKenzie chasing, and he's there to make the catch. Side retired. Now no runs on one hit. The leadoff single is wasted. And in the middle of the third inning, it's the Red Sox nothing and the Firebirds nothing right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, Brad Klein and Will Connerly from Eldridge Park in Orleans. Still no score between the Red Sox and the Firebirds in the second half of a home-and-home, and Luis Ramirez on for his third inning of work. Slider in the dirt for ball one, taken by Garrett Guillemette, the antsy catcher who was in a staring contest with Peyton Graham on first base in the last frame.
He was, and that was a nice sequence there with Graham daring Guillemette to throw, and then he went and ran himself.
Another slider. This one slices the zone. 1-1 the count as Guillemette was watching. He's 1 for 7 on the year. Luis Ramirez already 2 scoreless, 18 strikes on 24 pitches. Sticking with the slider, and Guillemette still a spectator in the zone for strike 2.
Yeah, this is just the third game for Guillemette. Catchers, a lot of teams carrying 2 catchers, mix them in and out.
1 ball, 2 strikes, no one on. Bottom of the third, no score. Ramirez from the windup. Slider again, backdoor, taken inside, 2-2. So Ramirez with 4 consecutive sliders to start this count in the bottom of the third inning. Has 6 strikeouts on the year. Just his second appearance as a Red Sox. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Got him on the slider. What else is new? 1 away in the bottom of the third.
Really good pitch right there. Guillemette didn't have much of a chance. It's really lethal against the right-handed hitter, especially when he gets ahead in the count. But that at-bat, there was no secrets, Brad. You mentioned it. Slider, 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 and he had a lot of success.
On talking to Ramirez earlier this week, I asked him, how do you know if you're on? You know, you wake up in the morning, maybe you feel good, you have a certain breakfast, whatever it is. For him, it's the slider. If the slider's going, he's going. And the first pitch fastball fouled into the dirt by Jack Moss, the first baseman, his first at-bat of the day. Swinging from the left side, 1 out, no one on, no score, and Moss chases the low changeup. So the count even now at 1-1. Actually, Ramirez ahead, 0-2.
And it's nice to see a pitcher have that type of self-awareness, and that's why he's a guy who's at the front of the rotation, someone who knows what he needs to do to be successful day in and day out.
The 0-2 to Moss. Slider chopped foul to the first base side. Luttrell, the first baseman, scoops it up and tosses it over to the Orleans dugout, so we'll do it again.
Moss.
Nice crowd here at Eldridge Park, and widely regarded as the best place to catch a Cape game outside of Red Wilson, of course.
It's a beautiful day, and the fans have settled in nicely.
The 0-2. Fastball down Broadway, taken for strike 3, 2 away in the bottom of the third. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Luis Ramirez. He's dealing 3 of the past 4 have gone down by the K. 2 gone in the third inning for Jordan Sprinkle, the top of the order.
Great pitch right there. He's able to execute with the pitch. He strikes out Guillemette with the fastball or the slider. Moss, he paints the fastball. He's just doing a great job of mixing his pitches, and when you can mix and match in a way like that, it's very effective and very impressive.
He starts Sprinkle off with a fastball, and then he fouls back to the screen. Jordan Sprinkle flew out to right his first time up. Still no one on, no score. In the third inning, Orleans is home half, and the fastball sails high. Stands up the catcher Baez, count even at 1-1.
And a new battery mate today for Ramirez Baez, but nothing new for Ramirez. He's still been able to break off that slider, and it's just been impressive through 3 frames.
Ramirez shakes off Baez. 1-1 the count. And Sprinkle skies it foul back to the screen, 1-2. YD in their road reds with black lettering. And we were talking to Luis Ramirez before his start. And at Long Beach State, the starter decides, okay, which uniform are we going to go with? But that's not the case at YD. And Ramirez actually says that the white actually makes his eyes pop better. So he was a little disappointed as the slider taken inside for ball 2.
Yeah, a lot of pitchers will get to pick what uniform at a lot of different teams. Hey, what do you want to go with today? You get your day, 1 day a week that you get to play. A lot of times they'll be able to do that at the collegiate level. Here with 6 games a week, it might be a little more difficult.
The 2-2 on Sprinkle. Guess what pitch he threw? The slider, and Sprinkle chased in the dirt. Strike three. Luis Ramirez strikes out the side in the third inning. He is absolutely dealing right now. Luis Ramirez cannot be stopped. No score at the end of three right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Top of the fourth inning from Eldridge Park. No score between the Red Sox and the Firebirds. Two teams that are getting to know each other pretty intimately now. The second half of a home-and-home. YD took the first bout yesterday, 8-7 with a walk-off. And now it's up to lead off this frame. They go with Brooks Lee, who was just standing on second base during that walk-off. He was intentionally walked. Runners on second and third, and from a baseball 101 standpoint, made some sense. Objectively, though, as a selfish fan, I think we all wanted to see Lee hit in that spot.
Yeah, that's a very interesting decision there, and it didn't come back to hurt Orleans because the next at bat, okay, you had Luttrell bring a guy in. One run comes across, but you could have Brooks Lee end the game still in a situation with runners on second and third and a base knock. So it's always fun to see the wheels turning with two great managers, of course, Pickler, Nicholson. This is the 92nd time the two have managed against each other here in the Cape League, and Pickler has got the best of him, of won over 60% of the games against Nicholson of Orleans.
1-1 count, Cannon against Lee. The first pitch was a fastball. He fouled down the first base side and a breaking ball in the dirt, and Lee swings and drives the fastball into foul territory, slicing out of play into the parking lot right by my car. Very close. But Lee tattooed that baseball. He was all over it. And Brooks Lee, as a switch hitter, should probably be very giddy to play at Eldridge Park. 314 to right, 300 to left. So, in a way, God help Orleans if a lefty is pitching against Brooks Lee and he's hitting as a pull guy from the right side. That's dangerous.
He was able to leave the yard yesterday, and he went dead center field. Of course, going to be a taller task today to go to center, but he has a ton of pop.
2-2 count after the changeup missed low, and the fastball misses wide and outside. Count is full now to Brooks Lee.
But he hits for average, switch hitting shortstop. His average just shy of 400 coming into today's game.
391, 0 for 1 on the day. Payoff pitch, swung on and popped foul out of play. That was probably ball 4 above the letters. Lee was protecting.
Stays alive, though, and doesn't leave it to chance. Definitely a little up right there, but looking for a pitch that he can handle. He's already seen Cannon now the second time through.
3-4-5 due up for YD in this frame. No score, no one on. Leadoff man in the top of the fourth. Payoff pitch, grounded sharply up the middle into center field. That's a base hit.
In every single game, Brooks Lee has been able to record a base knock, and he continues to produce. And that at-bat, Brad, that shows why he can hit for high average. Was able to battle multiple times and then hits it up the middle. Just takes it where it's pitched. Good two-strike pitch right there. Have to compete, have to battle, don't want to let up the free pass. And it's Brooks Lee who's able to execute.
So a leadoff single for Brooks Lee puts a runner on first. Still no one out for Chase Luttrell, the first baseman who struck out swinging his first time up, and nubs the first pitch changeup in the dirt for strike one. Now Luttrell was talking to me a little bit earlier this week about his performance overall this season. A guy hitting .210, 4 for 19 on the year heading into this game, now making 4 for 20. And Luttrell observes the fastball off the plate for ball one. 1-1 the count now with no one out and a runner on first, still no score. But he hasn't been happy with the way he's been performing. 3 double plays grounded into. That's really a thorn in his side, according to him. But he still contributed. Had the game-tying RBI via the sac fly to center field yesterday. Set the table for Nate Baez in the next at-bat as he shows bunt and pulls back. Fastball in there for strike two. A ball and 2 strikes. No outs to the lefty Chase Luttrell from Long Beach State, and Brooks Lee dives back safely to first after Cannon wanted to check him back. And Jonathan Cannon, 3 scoreless so far, 3+ that it is. 34 strikes thrown, and Luttrell skies it foul out of play down the left field line. Infield at double play depth. The center fielder Cox, Luttrell's teammate from Long Beach State, actually seems to be playing pretty shallow, but maybe that's just my eyes deceiving me. With a 434 to dead center, and Luttrell fights off another fastball out of play down the left field line. So we're deadlocked at 1-2, and Luttrell is no stranger to the long counts.
Really knows how to work at bats.
Coming up on the 7th pitch of this plate appearance, taken in the dirt for ball 2. So the changeup missed low, Luttrell not fishing. Brooks Lee taking modest leads off of first base. You would think he'd be a little bit more aggressive with a lefty at the plate. And whatever scouting report Whitey has read, they've actually been very aggressive on Guillemette and his arm. Lee not going. The 2-2 grounded sharply. The first could be 2. Moss stomps on the bag. Now has Lee in a pickoff. Lee hustling over to second. The throw is in time. The tag applied by Sprinkle. And a double play grounded into once again by Chase Luttrell. That's now 4 on the season. 2 out here in the 4th inning.
And not only that, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, YD has hit into double plays. Talk about the way Cannon has been able to induce the ground ball. He's induced the pitcher's best friend in each of the last 3 innings of work.
Luttrell, the last victim. In the 3rd inning, it was Lou, and in the 2nd, Tyler Williams. Breaking ball outside and low on the first pitch to Nate Baez. Singled in the 2nd inning. He was the hero in the 9th yesterday. First pitch, or rather 2nd pitch fastball is in there for strike 1.
YD has 4 hits, all of which came to begin each inning. And 3 of the times those runners were shaved off the base paths because of a double play.
And the 1-1 count, actually the 0-2 count now made a 1-2 count, so Nate Baez staying alive. The fastball was spiked. And it lives to see another pitch. From the windup, Cannon goes. The 1-2, chop foul.
You got to give credit to Cannon. I mean, to let up the leadoff guy 4 consecutive innings, it's really hard to work around that. You work from the stretch, you go from the windup, and 3 double plays. He's been able to make pitches when he needs to with guys on base. 4 singles in 4 straight innings of leadoff, but he's worked around it.
Baez watches the breaking ball just off the plate, 2-2.
Cannon didn't think it was off the plate. He took a few steps towards Orleans. The dugout had to get back up on the hill.
Well, based on Baez's body language, the way he almost checked his swing, but really with his legs started to swing. Almost seemed like he thought it was a strike and was hoping for a good call. Doesn't matter on that pitch. Chases the changeup low for strike 3, and that retires the side. A leadoff single, a double play, and a swinging strikeout puts 3 Red Sox down by the minimum for Jonathan Cannon. And in the middle of the fourth, still no score between the Red Sox and the Firebirds. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. This is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. It is. It's disgraceful. All right. All right, I have the PSA packet pulled up, so. We gotta go. Bottom of the fourth we go from Eldridge Park alongside Will Connerly. I'm Brad Klein. Luis Ramirez appears to be cruising. In the last frame, struck out 3 straight Firebirds to retire the side in that third inning, already with 4 strikeouts through 3 innings pitched. He's been electric. The slider has been really good. And to start off this frame, Rylan Thomas watches a fastball right down the middle for strike 1.
He set down 6 in a row. Ever since that leadoff triple to start the second, that's the only blemish he's had so far today.
Thomas, the DH in the 2-hole, chases the fastball upstairs. Ramirez dialing it up, 0-2.
Yeah, and he got Thomas to pop out to left field last time. Had him off balance, but you mentioned dialing it up. Really let the fastball eat up in the zone. Expect to see the slider here.
From the windup, Ramirez deals the slider on the outside corner, taken, strike 3 called. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Luis Ramirez. 5 of the last 4 have gone down via the punch-out. 1 away in the 4th inning, and Connor Cox, the center fielder from Long Beach State, facing his dirtbagger teammate 60 feet and 6 inches away. First pitch slider, no surprise, taken inside, ball 1.
Yeah, and he got Cox to pop out to Brooks Lee to end the first. Made a good pitch inside, got his hands tied up.
You mentioned it. Ramirez said he's really going to pound the slider to Cox. The 0-1 checked his swing, went around, 1-1 the count.
There's 2 in a row right there. And why not? That's his strength. Cox, of course, knows that that's his Ramirez's strength. And this is a situation where you 2 guys battling, and they know the scouting report.
Cox 5 for 19 on the year. Another slider. That one misses outside. 2-1. So we know that Luis Ramirez has a fantastic slider. Some would argue it's even one of the best pitches in the league. But he's throwing it so often. Is there such thing as too much from Luis Ramirez? As that one, a fastball slashed foul back to the screen, 2-2.
I mean, the results will dictate the answer to that question. I say if you can continue to throw it at effective rate, even if you have to throw it a lot. Look at Godman yesterday. I mean, how many fastballs did he throw in 4 scoreless innings of work? So, I mean, if it's working, keep throwing it.
No score between the Red Sox and the Firebirds. No one on with 1 out in the 4th inning. Bottom of the 4th inning, and another foul ball off the fastball from Connor Cox.
It's the chess match right now because Cox had seen 3 sliders, fouls 1 back, and then has to foul 2 consecutive back after that last fastball's up and in, and has him where he wants him right now.
The wind viciously blowing in from center to home. The 2-2. Slider checked his swing and fouled, so we'll do it again. Staring contest between Luis Ramirez and Connor Cox, who is 5 for 19 on the year with 3 RBIs. Not in an RBI situation here, as the infield is straight up, as is the outfield. with no one on. Baez gives Ramirez the sign. The 2-2. Fastball upstairs, and he skies it out of play down the right field line.
Good at bat. Two Long Beach State baseball players going at it right now. Between Cox and Ramirez. Ramirez, though, with the 2 strikes, he's been dialing up the strikeouts, and he's aiming for another one here.
Ramirez will go again. Slider got him swinging again. Luis Ramirez is absolutely electric right now. 5 consecutive punch-outs for Ramirez. So here comes Jace Jung, who had some success against Ramirez, to say the least, his last time up on leadoff triple. But he was stranded, and that triple wasted came in the second inning. First pitch changeup off the plate for ball 1. In fact, Jung is the last Firebird to even reach base on Ramirez, the only Firebird to reach base on Ramirez. A ball and no strikes, no one on, no score. In the bottom of the 4th inning, a slider misses off the plate, so Ramirez dancing outside to the outer half on Jace Jung, who can pretty much hit it from all aspects of the strike zone. Tattooed that triple about 400 feet by our estimation. And Jung lays off the fastball down the middle, forcing Ramirez to throw a strike. Now we're in business. 2-1 the count, 2 outs.
6 of the last 7 guys have gone down via the punch-out. Ramirez is totally locked in right now.
And Jung watches the front door slider inside and low, 3-1. Jace Jung, not necessarily the first guy you would want to put on base, even with 2 outs. He's a 5-tool guy, can really run. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ramirez nods in agreement with Baez. From the windup, he kicks and deals. Slider misses way high for ball 4. So a 2-out walk for Jace Jung allows the Firebirds to tread water in the bottom of the 4th inning. The strikeout streak is snapped, and Tyler Locklear, who lined out to Wyatt Hoffman his last time up at second in the 2nd inning, at the dish with 2 gone.
The only guy to reach base is Jung. He's done it twice. The triple in the 2nd, then just there with the walk here in the 4th.
First pitch slider taken down the middle by Locklear for strike 1. So Ramirez doing a very good job mixing up his pitches, especially that slider really clicking for him. No balls and a strike, runner on first. That's Jace Jung after the 2-out walk, and a slider in the dirt, snared by Baez. A great play to keep Jace Jung at first base. He was antsy too.
I mean, you have Jung in scoring position. If Baez doesn't backhand that play, and Ramirez, that one got away from him, he tapped his chest, said, hey, that one's on me. That one kind of pulled away from me, but Baez making a great play to not allow Jung to get into scoring position here.
It is by far his best pitch, but he has been slightly wild with it at times. The 1-1 slider again. This one grounded to the left side. Should be an easy play for the third baseman, Lou. He fires it over to second. Hoffman receives in time for the force. Side retired. No runs, a runner left, no one hits. Luis Ramirez, only 1 hit allowed by the righty from Long Beach State. That was Jace Jung in the 2nd inning. The strikeout streak was snapped. It was 5, and nonetheless, Ramirez is cruising through 4. No score between the Red Sox and the Firebirds. Drew Compton leading things off in the top of the 5th inning between the Red Sox and the Firebirds right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Alongside Will Connerly, I'm Brad Klein. Compton DHing today, struck out swinging his first time up, and the first pitch fastball is low for ball 1. Jonathan Cannon still hurling for the Firebirds. He's been very good. And from the windup goes over his head. Old-fashioned windup there. Misses on the fastball outside for ball 2.
4 straight innings. YD gets a leadoff single. 3 double plays, though, in this game.
Compton grounds it sharply over to third. Tough play for Locklear. On to first. In time, got him. A great scoop by Jack Moss at first base. And one away in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, really good play by Locklear over at the hot corner. Is able to stay with it and get Compton, who is hustling down the line.
So Tyler Williams grounded into a double play his last time up. That's been a motif for YD. Not really concerned with no one on. And one out in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, it was a great play by the shortstop, Jordan Sprinkle. I mean, to double up Williams.
And Williams pops it up, shallow right center field. Now make that the infield. The wind having something to do with that one. And Jace Young, the second baseman, is under it to make the catch. Well, look, the bottom line is that one was not struck very hard by Williams, but the wind did really chew it up and spit it back into the infield.
Yeah, the wind is pretty vicious today. Hardcore winds today affecting the path of the ball. You look at that American flag out in right center field. It's blowing all over the place with good velocity.
First pitch fastball at the shoulders for ball 1 to Wyatt Hoffman, who singled his last time up, came in the 3rd inning. He went nowhere after that one, though, because of the double play ball by Zach Liu, and another fastball at the shoulders for ball 2.
359 to right center field, and that's where the flag is, and it's blowing directly in right now.
Wyatt Hoffman, the righty, avoids the fastball by ducking out of the box, basically, inside for ball 3. So we really haven't seen Jonathan Cannon behind many counts. Delivered a 4-pitch walk earlier in the game to Peyton Graham in the 3rd inning and avoids that feat again with a fastball, a get-me-over fastball just above the knees, strike 1. Base is empty, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning, and Hoffman chases the fastball by his shoulders. The first 2 pitches he saw very identical to that, fouls it out of play, so the count is full now as Cannon claws his way back. And Wyatt Hoffman swings and grounds it over to first. Should be an easy play for Moss. He fields it cleanly, takes it himself, stomps on the bag in time, side retired. The Red Sox go down in order with a ground out, 2 ground outs, and a pop out in the top of the 5th inning. Middle of the 5th, no score between the Red Sox and the Firebirds right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network alongside Will Connerly, I'm Brad Klein. Chase DeLauder leading off the bottom of the fifth inning for Orleans, and Luis Ramirez is still really rolling for YD. Sharply hit ground ball over to Chase Luttrell at first, flips it over for a covering Ramirez in time for out number one. So first pitch swinging on the fastball. Chase DeLauder is 0 for 2 on the day. And Jared McKenzie 0 for 1 at the dish with one away and no one on.
Another really nail-biter right here. Second consecutive day. Yesterday, YD coming up with the walk-off win against Orleans at Red Wilson Field. Now here at Eldridge Park, Orleans the home team in a scoreless game in the bottom of the fifth. It's a pitcher's duel so far. Both pitchers doing a great job. Ramirez, you've seen electric stuff with the slider and the strikeouts, and Cannon been all over the zone, keeping YD off balance.
First pitch fastball in there for strike one. And McKenzie, the lefty, slashes it foul out of play down the left field line. Now Ramirez, we talk so much about the slider, but the fastball with some really good life, especially late in the delivery.
It is. It's good, and he's able to giddy up that fastball, but the hitter also has a split second to think, not even that, a millisecond to think, oh shoot, is the slider coming? Because that's something you got to think about it with Ramirez with the breakaway slider that he has.
So it's no balls, 2 strikes, and McKenzie takes the fastball just off the plate for ball one, and Ramirez steps off the mound and wipes his right hand on the dirt to catch his breath, thinking, man, that was strike 3. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now with 1 out, no one on, no score. In the bottom of the fifth, pitch grounded slowly off the ankle, a foul ball. Originally it looked like a ground out to the second baseman was McKenzie's destiny. He really didn't react initially to the number off his ankle, and slowly but surely he started to feel it. But typically you don't see the ball travel that far, that fast, off of a body part, let alone an ankle.
Yeah, that's ouch. That's ouch right there for McKenzie, hitting right off the ankle foot area with the red cleats he has on. I mean, it's going to be tough getting out the box. That's a stinger right there. Hit over to Hoffman at second.
The 1-2. Slider, a paralyzing one, taken for strike 3 called. Another strikeout for Luis Ramirez. He is really feeling it. Make that his 6th strikeout of the day. I'm shorting Luis Ramirez. That's 7 for Ramirez. First in the 5th. And Garrett Guillemette, the catcher, at the dish. He's one of those strikeout victims. Slider slowly hit to the left side. Fielded by Lou. Double pumps on to first in time. Side retired. Again, Orleans goes down in order. 1-2-3 with 2 ground outs and a strikeout. At the end of 5, no score between the Firebirds and the Red Sox right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Already to the top of the sixth inning right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Brad Klein and Will Connerly, glad to be with you from Eldridge Park. A new pitcher on the mound, Nick Wallerstadt, in relief of Jonathan Cannon, who was really dealing 5 innings of scoreless baseball and 4 hits. So Jonathan Cannon, through 2 starts as a Firebird, is yet to allow a run, as Wallerstadt delivers the first pitch breaking ball inside to Lou, and the second pitch the same, that one also in the dirt. 2-0 the count to Zach Lou, who is 0 for 1 in his starting debut for YD with a double play in the 3rd inning. Lou showing bunt now, pulls back, and the fastball is on the inside corner. 2-1 the count.
I mean, there's a big reason why Cannon is really high on a lot of draft boards. I mean, he gets in the zone, mixes it up, keeps hitters off balance. 5 shutout today, 9 shutout through his Cape 2 starts.
And Lou fouls back the fastball to the screen, 2-2.
It was a really good starter for Georgia this past season, and YD had its hands full today. 3 double plays, grounded into 4 leadoff singles through the first 4 frames. Couldn't get it going. We'll see if they can't do it against the reliever Wallerstedt.
And Wallerstadt painting on the outside corner. Zach Lou with the bat on his shoulder. The fastball was right where he wanted it. A strikeout for Wallerstadt in his first at-bat of the day.
Nice way to come out of the bullpen and get a strikeout on a pitch like that. Just paint with the fastball.
And Wallerstadt came into Orleans, and he was really a wild card. Only threw 2/3 of an inning during the 2021 season. First pitch fastball on the inside corner. The Peyton Graham now, top of the order. He is 1 for 1 on the day. The single in the first and a walk in the third. No one on base for him, though, with 1 out. In the top of the 6th, he waves at the slider, lower half of the zone. So Peyton Graham quickly behind 0-2. Wallerstadt gave up a run in his only inning of work prior to today. Fastball sails wide, 1-2. Now, the righty from Arizona State did not play in the shortened 2020 campaign. And the breaking ball nubbed to the left side. The third baseman Locklear double pumps and rifles across the diamond in time, 2 gone.
Yeah, from Tempe, Arizona, goes to Arizona State. And 6'3", 195, coming out the pen for his second relief appearance of the season. Had 2 walks in his 1 inning of work earlier this season, but his command, his control's been much better, but it looks like the outing's going to be shortened for him after 2 outs.
So Wallerstadt gets 2 quick outs and gets his job done. A hearty handshake from his manager, Kelly Nicholson, and a walk back to the dugout. He's greeted by his fellow Firebirds with an ovation. So 2 away in the 6th inning. He was cruising. Tanner Smith is due up for the Red Sox, and a new pitcher coming up for the Firebirds right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Now still the top of the 6th inning here from Eldridge Park. Brad Klein alongside Will Connerly. A short but sweet appearance for Nick Wallerstadt, the Arizona State Sun Devil, in relief of Jonathan Cannon. 2/3 of an inning, 1 strikeout, and his day is done. The lefty comes in to relieve him from UCLA. Jake Somm delivers a first pitch breaking ball in the lower part of the strike zone to Tanner Smith. 0-1 the count. Smith watches the breaking ball low and away, 1-1 now. So Somm, the lefty, comes in for his handedness, a rising junior from UCLA, Thousand Oaks, California. He was really good for the Bruins this past year. Walked only 3 batters in 20 innings pitched. Fastball misses low below the knees, 2-1.
But in 2 1/3 here in the Cape, he's already walked 2 and surrendered 4 earned runs. This is his 3rd appearance.
And Smith grounds it slowly to short. Could be a tough play for a charging Sprinkle. Barehands it. Smith beats the throw. Tanner Smith with a 2-out infield single, and YD treading water in the 6th inning.
How about the play, though, from Sprinkle to even make that close? Sprinkle, a really good shortstop. But here comes another one to the plate in the form of Brooks Lee after the infield single.
Well, Kelly Nicholson, the manager for Orleans, was really hoping that this lefty would be able to handle Tanner Smith and that Brooks Lee would never even see the light of day in the 6th. That is not the case. The switch hitter from Cal Poly turns around to the right side at Eldridge Park, where left field is just 300 feet. Tanner Smith dancing off first base. Pitch is lined up the middle into center field, a base hit. Brooks Lee with his 2nd single of the day. Tanner Smith advances to second. 2 consecutive 2-out singles in the top of the 6th inning, and Chase Luttrell, the cleanup man, comes up for YD.
A chance for redemption here. Grounded into double plays the last 2 days, and of course not swinging the bat the way he wants to so far this season. Can definitely produce more for YD, and he has a chance right here with 2 runners aboard in a scoreless game.
Luttrell, the lefty from Long Beach State, chops it foul to the first base side. So if you're Kelly Nicholson, yeah, you didn't want to face Brooks Lee. The consolation prize is that lefties are stacked up in the meat of the order for YD, and Luttrell could be a pretty good matchup for Somm here, who missed the final month of the season for UCLA after fracturing his pinky in late April. No balls and a strike, runners on first and second, 2 out, top of the 6th, no score. And Luttrell waves at the changeup, 0-2.
Yeah, a chance to get some more action, and of course you mentioned how great he was for the Bruins. Struggled a little bit through his first 2 outings in the Cape. Does have 1 save, but expect him to definitely play a big factor for the Fibers this season.
Luttrell already struck out today. Make it 2. Chases the fastball by his shoulders. 3 pitches and a strikeout when Orleans needed the most for Jake Somm. Side retired as YD strands a pair in the 6th inning. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Still no score between the Red Sox and the Firebirds. This break brought to you by Curry College, because Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs including new majors in sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science online at www.curry.edu. Bottom of the 6th inning from Eldridge Park. Brad Klein and Will Connerly sitting alongside Luis Ramirez's absolute gem, and Jack Moss, the left-handed hitting first baseman, to lead off the frame for the Firebirds, hitting from the 9-hole. And Ramirez, first pitch slider, grounded slowly to second. Hoffman charging in, grabs it cleanly onto first in time for out number 1.
And with that out, this is the deepest that a YD starter has gone so far this season, and a big reason why. The 7 strikeouts now through 5 1/3. Ramirez has looked really good, working now in his 6th inning.
So a 4-3 putout off the heels of those 7 strikeouts brings up Jordan Sprinkle, one of the strikeout victims. No surprise that Ramirez is the deepest starter for YD. With that slider, he's been getting some weak contact and has been working very efficiently. And the first pitch slider in the dirt to Sprinkle for ball 1.
The starters, all of them went 5 innings the first go around in the 6-man rotation, except Jacobs, who went 2. Ramirez looking good.
Fastball misses off the plate, 2-0.
Nice to get length out of your starting pitching staff. It relieves your bullpen, sets you up for success not only this game but for games to come as well.
So Ramirez from the windup, the 2-0. Fastball fouled right back into the mid of Nate Baez. 2-1 now. Jordan Sprinkle, one of those guys that you look out for when you go to the ballpark at Eldridge. From UC Santa Barbara, joined Team USA about a week ago, so he will be departing the Firebirds pretty soon as he fouls it out of play down the first base line off the fastball. So from 2-0 to 2-2 for Luis Ramirez.
Expect the slider here, Brad. I mean, he's been going to it with 2 strikes almost every time.
No one on, no score, and 1 out as Sprinkle drives that one to deep center field. Williams retreating. He's under it to make the catch for out number 2.
You saw some cheers after how well that ball was struck, but again, with this such deep center field, it's just a routine catch for Williams.
You wonder where that would have been at Red Wilson Field at YD. 352 to dead center as opposed to Eldridge's 434.
Oh, it would have been morning track power at Red Wilson Field.
Could have been even gone with a nice gust, which is the opposite of what we have now. Wind blowing in from center to home. And with 2 outs, it's Rylan Thomas, the DH 0 for 2 today. Lines it down the left field line, slicing foul off the fastball.
Thomas 0 for 2 today with a strikeout, pop out to left field. Was the leading hitter for Orleans through 5 games, 7 for 14, hitting .500, swinging the bat really well, coming from USC.
And was swinging very well at the tail end of that USC season, hit .322 over the final 10 games. And he skies it shallow center field. Williams coming on, and he can't get there. It drops between him and the shortstop, Brooks Lee. Lee fields it barehanded on to second. Wyatt Hoffman was there to keep Rylan Thomas at first base, but he's on with a 2-out bloop single in the bottom of the 6th.
The first hit for Orleans since the second when Jace Young led off the second with a triple. Just the second hit today for the Firebirds.
And just the 3rd base runner as well. Walked Jace Young in the 4th inning. One more batter to go before Jace Young, who's on deck, gets another shot. Runner on first with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning for Connor Cox. And the slider taken inside for ball 1. Just the body language of Orleans right now, the way the slider's thrown. As soon as Ramirez lets it go, it seems like the hitters kind of tense up and say, ooh, I hope it's inside. I hope it's just outside. I hope he misses, because if he hits his spot on the slider, it's doomsday offensively. Working from the stretch now, the 1-0 is taken way off the plate for ball 2.
Well, it comes to a point where the hitter's going to start expecting the slider. However, when you sit on the slider, you can't be ready when he climbs the ladder with 90 plus. So it's really a good job of mixing his pitches is how he's been able to keep Orleans off the board in this one and record so many strikeouts. He's been hitting his spots, like you mentioned. Even if you're sitting on it, paint on the outside corner, it's going to be a ground out most of the time.
The two teammates from Long Beach State, Ramirez throws over to first, and Thomas dives back safely, tag applied by Luttrell, the first baseman. A 2-0 count to Connor Cox, the second consecutive batter in a 2-0 count. As Ramirez comes set at the belt from the stretch. Kicks and deals. Fastball sails way high for ball 3.
Now you wonder, what type of leash does Ramirez have? 3-0 count, let up the single, and hard to tell right now if there's any action out there in that bullpen in left field.
Ramirez has thrown 73 pitches. Has been absolutely unstoppable for YD. 3 balls, no strikes, and with 2 outs, the fastball is taken at the shoulders for ball 4. The second walk of the day for Orleans, 2 runners on for the first time today, and Jace Young, the only Firebird to reach base twice on Luis Ramirez at the dish.
That's why it warrants a mound visit. Brooks Lee talking with Baez, with Ramirez on the mound, runners on first and second, 2 outs, and then it was a 2-out single, 2-out walk to the most dangerous hitter for Orleans. Now, the stats may not say so far this year, but this guy's got a ton of pop. We saw it in the second when he crushed it to center, and a guy who can just flat out hit from the left side. So a huge at-bat. This is who Orleans wants up in this situation.
So Thomas on second, Cox on first with 2 outs. Jace Young, the power-hitting middle infielder, as Ramirez from the stretch delivers a first pitch fastball upstairs for ball 1.
Couldn't locate it right there, just missed above the strike zone, and don't want to fall behind Young here. He's been aboard twice in this one through 2 at-bats.
You'd have to imagine, win or lose, this is Ramirez's last inning, potentially even his last batter. Looking back at the runner, Thomas, the 1-0 taken in the dirt for ball 2. So Thomas dancing off of second base, trying to distract Luis Ramirez as much as possible, and so far it almost seems like it's working.
Yeah, getting the lead at second base, but Ramirez, who's had good command, 2-0 counts to the last 3 hitters here in this inning.
Ramirez comes set again from the stretch, looks back at second, deals, ground ball sharply hit over to first, and Luttrell backhands it and stomps on the bag in time, side retired. So Luis Ramirez works in and out of trouble, and a scoreless 6 innings for the righty from Long Beach State. Unbelievable outing for Ramirez, only 1 earned run allowed in now 2 starts, assuming this is it for Ramirez as he gets some handshakes before he even gets to the railing of the YD dugout. Unbelievable performance from Luis Ramirez. That brings us to the end of 6 right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Still no score. And this break brought to you by Curry College. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. In-person and high-flex classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, accounting, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
No score as we've arrived in the top of the 7th. Happy to be alongside Brad Klein with Will Connerly and Nate Baez up for the Red Sox. Scoreless here in the top of the 7th. It's been great pitching on both sides of the scorecard thus far. Baez at the plate, singled to lead off the 2nd. Then struck out in the 4th, up for a 3rd time. He was last night's hero. We'll see if he can't come through here in the late innings again. Jake Somm on the mound. Came in to record the final out last inning. That ball fouled back by Baez. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. YD had a little threat last inning. Cannon was pulled after 5. As Baez grounds that to the right side. Diving play by Moss at first, and it's a flip over to Somm, and the 3-1 put out. Nice play by the first baseman, Moss, to go grab it, and also by the pitcher to get over to the bag. 1 away in the top of the 7th.
Absolutely great play. That's just an example of Somm putting the ball in play and allowing his infield to help him out.
So Pascal Ferreras is going to pinch hit for Drew Compton. Ferreras, 4 strikeouts in yesterday's contest against the Firebirds. Compton was 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. So now Ferreras will get to bat here against the left-hander.
And Ferreras has struck out at least once in every one of his starts. And you mentioned the golden sombrero from yesterday. It just shows you how much Pickler trusts him to put him in as a pinch hitter.
Pitch misses low and away from Somm, the left-hander.
And moreover, not only how much Pickler trusts Pascal Ferreras, but also how much he needs to trust Pascal Ferreras. Right now, it's not a good time to have him at the dish because of the strikeouts. And yet Pickler keeps on putting him in some big spots. And believe it or not, no one on in the 7th inning. It's a big spot. There are no runs on board, and Ferreras has a lot of speed. That's why Pickler has him in for Compton, because if he gets on board, he's a much bigger threat than Compton is.
So the 2-0 pitch awaits from Somm, and a swing and a miss on a fastball from Ferreras. Took a healthy hack on the fastball from Somm, but now 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch is called for a strike, make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Low and inside, and a 2-2.
And that one was very low. Pascal Ferreras looking back at the home plate umpire, Mike Beal. He was not happy.
The 2-2 from Somm hit well to the right side, but right at the right fielder, Chase DeLauder is there, and there's 1 away.
Hats off to whoever wrote the scouting report on Pascal Ferreras, because DeLauder was playing so far off the line, and during the at-bat, I was looking at the field saying, man, if Ferreras is behind a fastball, it's going to be trouble for Orleans with his speed, and he just hit it right to DeLauder, playing perfectly in right field.
Here comes Tyler Williams to the plate, playing in center field today. Takes the first pitch from the lefty Somm for a strike. 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the 7th. No score. Both starting pitchers put together solid performances. Somm, the 3rd pitcher used for Orleans today. Cannon went 5. Wallerstedt got 2 quick outs. And then came the lefty Somm. Somm surrendered singles to Tanner Smith and Brooks Lee, but then got Chase Luttrell with the strikeout to end the 6th. As retired Baez and then Ferreras here in the 7th with 2 outs facing off against Tyler Williams. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. Somm comes set. And the lefty delivers the pitch. Fouled away and heads up toward the Orleans dugout. It goes right above the dugout where the players draped over the railings, and it was right almost in harm's way of Orleans.
And this is not what the purists of baseball want to hear, but eventually we're going to have screens on top of the railing.
Williams with the foul ball, staying alive once again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, still the count.
Now, Williams is really behind on these fastballs, and now he's working behind the 8 ball 1 and 2, a guy that's been a strikeout victim all season for YD.
And the 1-2, he fouls it off once again. Tyler Williams, the outfielder for YD. 2 for 12 so far on the season, 0 for 2 today. Here against Somm, who's filled up the strike zone here in his relief outing. And another foul ball by Williams. Staying alive here against the left-hander, Somm. The lefty from UCLA. He was their setup man this past season during his sophomore campaign, spent last summer in the Northwoods League. And the 1-2, another foul ball by Williams. So making Somm work for this final out here in the top of the 7th.
But to me, that was probably the most impressive swing from Tyler Williams the entire at-bat, because it wasn't necessarily a hard swing with good bat speed, but it was a defensive swing, breaking ball in the dirt, didn't know if he was going to get the call or not, so he just put the ball in foul territory.
The 1-2 again popped up toward the right side. DeLauder coming in on it. He calls everyone off, catches it, and a 1-2-3 frame for Somm. Orleans threw 7 times at the plate, just 2 hits. We're scoreless as we go to the bottom of the 7th on the YD Red Sox Network. Bottom of the seventh, and a new arm into the game. Reed McLaughlin into the contest, the right-hander out of BYU. And through 7 frames here in the bottom of the seventh, no score so far, but it was Luis Ramirez who put together a great performance on the mound. 6 innings and just 2 hits allowed, where he struck out 7 and surrendered just 2 walks. 2 hits is all Orleans has as they're at the plate here in the bottom of the seventh. That ball grounded to the right side. Hoffman gloves it, thrown over to first, and there's 1 away here in the bottom of the seventh. Now, YD has 6 hits, 4 of which came in the first 4 frames to lead off the first 4 innings, but 3 of which were cut off by double plays. 6 hits, no runs to show for it. Orleans just 2 hits. They had a season high in hits last night at Red Wilson Field in the loss. And that brings up Chase DeLauder, the right fielder. But new arm into the game after the masterful outing. 6 scoreless innings of work, 2 hit balls, 7 Ks from Luis Ramirez. McLaughlin, 2 innings pitched on the season, no runs allowed and 2 strikeouts as he's working here against DeLauder. So 2 balls, no strikes, the count here against the right fielder Chase DeLauder. In the bottom of the seventh, no score. And it'll be up to the bullpens to work through this scoreless contest right now at Eldridge Park as that ball's fouled away. 2 balls and a strike is the count. DeLauder coming into this game 3 for 16 with 1 home run, 5 runs driven in. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out. 2 balls and a strike. McLaughlin with the pitch, grounder to Brooks Lee. Gloves it, throws it across the diamond, and there's 2 away. 2 ground outs for McLaughlin here in the seventh coming out of the bullpen, and that brings up Jerry McKenzie to the plate.
I'll tell you what, Will. We were talking to Jared Godman, who had 4 scoreless innings of relief behind Pat Gallagher yesterday. He said that really it's just about pitching in front of and behind your guy and just, keep the line moving, do it for the staff, do it for the pitchers as a whole. And to me, what I've been impressed by is not only the relievers' ability to support their starters, but also the ability to show a team camaraderie so early in the season when these guys are really just trying to show themselves off to scouts.
The team has done a nice job with the pitching staff so far. Tom Basella working well with the arms, and they've done an incredible job of competing and giving their team a shot. And that's what you saw today from the starters who have all worked up good amounts of innings. I mean, through 7 games, you've had the starters go 5+ 6 times. So the starting rotation has been formidable in terms of working well. As McLaughlin working here with 2 outs in the bottom of the seventh, no score. The right-hander comes set as that ball is popped up. Lee over in left, actually Smith, who's under it. He corrals it in a 1-2-3 inning for McLaughlin. We're through 7, no score. We send it to the 8th next on the YD Red Sox Network. Top of the 8th here at Eldridge Park. No score thus far. I'm alongside Brad Klein, Will Connerly here with you. And the YD Red Sox and Orleans, nobody yet to break the seal on the scoreboard. It's been a scoreless game so far through 7 innings as Hoffman fouls off the first pitch here in the top of the 8th against Somm, the left-hander on the mound.
I know that Hoffman right now has the lumber in his hand, but he has fielded an incredible second base today, something to be very proud of. Had the single in the third, an all-around great game for Hoffman. I would actually argue his best game.
That ball hit well to the left side, and Hoffman struck the ball well, but corralled by McKenzie and left, so retired.
See, and that's something that
8th.
when we mark down L7 in our scorebooks, we're not going to say, yeah, but he hit it really, really well. But he did, and that's something that Scott Pickler and YD as a whole is going to notice, and something that the Cape League and the Scouts as a whole should notice as well, that Wyatt Hoffman is actually hitting the ball very well right now.
Had the single in the third, grounded out in the 5th, hit it well to left to begin the 8th, but was retired. Zach Liu to the plate. 0 for 2, hit into a double play in the 3rd and struck out looking in the 6th. Here in the 8th, he faces off against the lefty from UCLA with a 2-ball, no strike count. Somm has thrown an inning and 2/3 so far. But he's found a groove after the first 2 batters he saw. Tanner Smith and Brooks Lee each singled. 5 straight retired for the Southpaw now. 2 balls and a strike. Here against Zach Liu, the 9th place hitter in the order, Peyton Graham, is on deck. The pitch misses outside, so 3 balls and a strike now to Liu. Here in the top of the 8th, getting to the late innings here at Eldridge Park. No score so far. Liu had 1 at-bat prior to this game, getting his first start of the season. Hits that one toward the right side. DeLauder running forward toward the right field line, makes the catch on the run, and there's 2 away.
A great play by DeLauder. Has been playing off the line all day and got a great read, a great jump on that flare by Zach Liu with a lot of slice to the right side. And just a great read all around by DeLauder.
The UCLA lefty has been filling up the strike zone. You mentioned his great command, just limiting the walks on the season. 24 strikes and just 10 balls. He's been getting the pop-outs, 4 straight pop-outs, and 6 straight retired. He's completed 2 innings of relief and now facing off against Peyton Graham. Got the final out in the 6th and retired the side in the order in the 7th, and he's trying to do the same here in the 8th, facing off against Peyton Graham, top of the 8th, 2 outs. And the 0-1 pitch from the lefty is called a strike, so make it an 0-2 count. Peyton Graham 1 for 2 today. 9 hits so far on the season, one of which was a home run. It came yesterday. 4 runs driven in as well, trying to start off a rally for YD here in the 8th. 2 outs, and the 0-2 from Somm misses low, so make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. But Somm has done a nice job here out of the bullpen. Wallerstead, 2 quick outs and then was yanked. They brought in Somm to face the lefty, Smith, who was able to reach base. So was Brooks Lee. Ever since then, he's been nails. Grounder up the middle. Sprinkle comes up on it, throws it across the diamond, and another 1-2-3 frame for the left-hander. He set down the side in order in the 7th and the 8th, and 8 straight retired for the Southpaw. We send it to the bottom of the 8th next on the YD Red Sox Network. scoreless still as we've reached the bottom of the 8th. Reed McLaughlin on the mound for YD as the breaking ball gets away from Baez, the catcher. And the first pitch, a ball. Garrett Guillemette, Jack Moss, and Jordan Sprinkle due up for Orleans here in the 8th. 8, 9, and 1 in the order, and McLaughlin flips in the breaking ball for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Garrett Guillemette. 1 for 9 on the season. No runs driven, and 0 for 2 today as he chops that ball foul down the left field line. McLaughlin looked good coming out of the bullpen, continuing on the performance that Luis Ramirez had. After going 6 strong, just surrendering 2 hits, 7 strikeouts. As the breaking ball misses low, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. McLaughlin was able to set down the side in order in the 7th. And here in the bottom of the 8th, no score with the Firebirds at the plate. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Guillemette was tardy. McLaughlin has retired his 4th in a row out of the bullpen and records his first strikeout as he gets Guillemette swinging.
So that's a big out, and this is a big at-bat for McLaughlin right here against Jack Moss, the 9-hitter. You don't want to put Ryland Thomas, Connor Cox, Jace Young, that heart of the order up in an RBI situation or with any runners on base for that matter. So you really want to get 2 outs before you get to the top.
So they're going to actually go to a pinch hitter in this situation. Jack Moss was scheduled to hit. Julio Marcano going to be coming up to the plate and takes the first pitch for a strike. Marcano had played in all 5 previous games for the Firebirds, 2 for 13 on the season. One ball and 1 strike here to Marcano. And the pitch up and in. 2 balls and a strike. Here with Sprinkle on deck after they go to Marcano to pinch hit. Grounds it to the right side. Maya broke the bat. Hoffman gloves it, throws it to first, and there's 2 outs. Marcano played a big role in the game yesterday, but is retired in pinch hit fashion here in the bottom of the 8th. That brings up the top of the order. They flip the lineup card up. Jordan Sprinkle now to the plate, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Hitting here with 2 outs and nobody on. In the bottom of the 8th, Orleans has just had 2 hits today. First pitch swinging, and it's going to be the 3rd hit for Orleans as Sprinkle hits it through the left side. A diving Zach Lou, third baseman, got under his glove, got through to the left field, and it's a base hit for Jordan Sprinkle.
That's exactly what you feared. A runner on base for Ryland Thomas, a guy that had that single his last time up, and he is always dangerous, even when it's not his day, and he really hasn't been his day. He actually is the kind of guy who's going to get a lot of lumber to the baseball. Contact guy. Hasn't done that very well with some hard contact today.
McLaughlin's comes set. Bottom of the 8th. 2 outs and a runner aboard. No score in this one from Eldridge Park. First pitch misses for a ball against the left-handed hitting designated hitter Ryland Thomas. 1 for 3 today. He leads the team with 8 hits this season. And that ball hit up the middle. Brooks Lee stays down on it, and it's a foot race to second. He's in time ahead of Sprinkle, and that's the 3rd out. We're through 8. No score from Eldridge Park. To the 9th we go on the YD Red Sox Network. Hey fans, Devadyme is the official website development company of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. They designed and developed our league best website and helped us with marketing to bring more fans to the games and more visitors to our website. Devadyme helps organizations generate more leads and maximize their marketing budget. Check out devadyme.com to learn more and be sure to like Devadyme on Facebook. That's devadyme.com. Hey Sox fans, have you thought about buying or selling a home? Emily Szymanski of the Salty Dog Group is your pet-friendly neighborhood realtor. As part of the team at Keller Williams Realty of Cape Cod and the Islands, Emily is your go-to resource for buying and selling. Call Emily Szymanski at 508-221-0196 or visit thesaltydoggroup.kw.com. That's 508-221-0196 or visit thesaltydoggroup.kw.com. It's now or never for the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. We've arrived in the top of the ninth. No score here at Eldridge Park. And the first pitch, a ball from the left-hander, Somm, who's thrown 2 1/3, scoreless so far out of the bullpen. Facing off here against Tanner Smith. Singled last time against the lefty. And it was Somm. The first hitter he saw was Tanner Smith. Smith and then Brooks Lee each got the single. But then to follow 2 straight 1-2-3 innings for the lefty. After that, he's retired 7 in a row ever since Brooks Lee singled against him in the 6th.
Yeah, great way for Somm to settle down. And often in the Cape League, you'll see one pitcher dominant, the next comes in, and all of a sudden it's a different game.
As the 2-1 pitch fouled down the right field line. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here against Tanner Smith, who's 1 for 3 today, has 4 hits on the season. Coming from Oregon, the talented corner outfielder. Trying to get aboard here in the 9th. No extra innings here in the Cape Cod League, so YD has to come through in the 9th once again if they want to top Orleans today. The left-hander Somm comes set after getting the signs from Guillemette. The pitch popped up toward the left side. And gloved by McKenzie and left. There's one away in the top of the 9th. 8 straight retired for the southpaw. Now he faces Brooks Lee, who has a couple hits today. Here in the top of the 9th, nobody on, one away. After the fly out from Smith to left field. Lee swinging it from the right side, the switch hitting shortstop. It hits this ball well towards left field, but gloved by McKenzie. 2 straight fly outs to left, and there's 2 away.
Well, when Brooks Lee makes solid contact as a pull right side hitter at Eldridge Park, the immediate instinct is it's going out. And I thought it was out. 300 feet is not a very long way, especially for the star shortstop from Cal Poly, and he gave it a run.
And Somm had a 1-2-3 7th, a 1-2-3 8th as the first pitch is fouled away and out of play from Chase Luttrell toward the left side. Had a 1-2-3 7th, 1-2-3 8th, and has retired the first 2 he's seen here in the 9th. Both were flyouts to left field. Has retired 9 straight hitters after surrendering 2 singles with 2 outs. He came in the 6th, surrendered 2 singles, but then has followed up with 9 straight retired here in the YD lineup, who's had 6 hits today but no runs. As we're scoreless, here's that ball's popped up toward the left side, but drops foul. Nobody could get to it on the left side. Locklear, the third baseman, was running for it, but drops in foul territory as Luttrell stays alive, hitting with an 0-2 count.
And something that you know I love to look at is the strike-to-ball ratio, and Sam has been very impressive with 34 strikes and 13 balls thrown. He's just saying, hey, here's the pitch, I dare you to hit it. He's been putting the ball in play, and Orleans has been making plays behind him, making a very complicated game very simple.
Luttrell takes the pitch in the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He only has 1 strikeout, and he's retired 9 in a row. That is unheard of in today's game.
Luttrell hits the ball towards center field. Going to be gloved actually by the left fielder McKenzie. So 3 flyouts to left in the 9th and a 1-2-3 frame. 3 straight 1-2-3 frames for the lefty from UCLA. Psalm, and we send it to the bottom of the 9th as Orleans will try to walk it off next on the YD Red Sox Network. Back in the bottom of the 9th, C.J. Culpepper now on the mound, the third arm used today for the Red Sox. 6 shutout from Ramirez, 2 solid innings of work from McLaughlin, and through 8 innings, there's just been 3 hits for Orleans. The third pitcher into the ballgame, C.J. Culpepper, who had a great 2021 season, was the WAC Freshman of the Year, and really just had a breakout season. 13 saves. He's no stranger to pitching in the last inning of ball games, and that's what he'll try to do here for the YD Red Sox as they try to salvage a tie here.
That's the best they can do. No extra innings in the CCBL this year, in part because of COVID-19. Already have that tie from the opener. But YD has to be happy with the way this game has gone. Luis Ramirez really bursting on the scene as not only the ace of the team, but potentially the ace of the league, right? And it's the same problem. It's the hitting just haunting the Red Sox. The hitting has really stalled the entire team this year.
They've out-hit Orleans today 6-3. Neither team able to score. Bottom of the 9th, final hope for Orleans as Culpepper's first pitch popped up on the infield. Brooks Lee is under it. The shortstop runs onto the infield grass. The wind took it away, and there's one away.
That's a tough play. And when Brooks Lee is catching it with the palm of his mitt, you know something's wrong, because typically he plays a flawless short. And there, it almost looked like the way he was trotting under that baseball, he wasn't even sure if he was going to catch it.
Culpepper, the right-hander, 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Second appearance here this summer for the YD Red Sox as that pitch misses low and inside to Jace Young. Young's 1 for 2, walked and then grounded out. Had a leadoff triple in the second, but wasn't able to come across. A swing and a miss on the breaking pitch from Culpepper. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Culpeper had an 8.68 ERA in 2020, improved it to 3.30 in 2021. Really had a breakout season this past year as that ball is in the dirt for ball two. 2 balls and a strike from Cal Baptist, where C.J. Culpeper had a nice campaign with the 13 saves in the back end of their bullpen and trying to get the YD Red Sox a tie here. That pitch is a strike on the inside corner here against Jace Young. Would be the second tie this season. If they should tie, YD would improve to 3-2-2. Improve because tie worth 1 point in the standings, a win worth 2, as that pitch misses low. So now the count swells up to 3 balls and 2 strikes here with 1 away and Young at the plate. Young already with a triple in this one. And the 3-2 pitch from Culpeper. Popped up toward center field. Williams comes in on it. Lee, the shortstop, backs up on it. He'll call everybody off and take it for the second out. So 2 pop-ups to Brooks Lee. There's 2 away, and the final hope is Tyler Locklear for Orleans.
Now Locklear is due. This is a guy who is very, very, very dangerous for Orleans, and now it's all up to him.
Tyler Locklear to the plate. Culpeper's first pitch. That ball skied toward left field. Coming in on it is Smith, and he catches it. So a 1-2-3 ninth for C.J. Culpeper. And typically we talk about it in soccer, but it's a 0-0 draw. At the end of this one, an ultimate pitcher's duel. You saw 6 shutout innings from Luis Ramirez, and YD Orleans, they tie in this one.
Very fitting way for this game to go, in that, yeah, there were 15 runs scored 24 hours ago across the Cape, but these two teams have proven that they're very equal and that we're going to see a lot more YD Orleans matchups. Can't wait for those because it's already bubbling into a rivalry.
2 hits for Brooks Lee in this one, 6 for the Red Sox, 3 for Orleans. Ramirez went 6 with 7 strikeouts, just surrendered 2 hits. McLaughlin, 2 shutout innings as well, of course, with the 0-0 draw. And then C.J. Culpeper with a 1-2-3 ninth. On the other side for Orleans, they had Cannon throw 5 shutout innings. Then Wallerstedt got 2 outs, and then Somm, who surrendered 2 singles to start his night, then turned around and retired 10 in a row out of the bullpen. So solid pitching performance on both sides, but that's a final here. 0-0 score, and YD and Orleans with the draw. So YD now on the season 3-2-2. So they have now 8 points in the standings. They tally another point after getting the tie.
Yes, and it's very early to start worrying about the standings. What YD has to be worried about is when and where they play Orleans next, because that game should be circled on everyone's calendars. Again, I said it a minute ago. I'm going to say it again. It's a rivalry now. It's officially a rivalry, and not that it wasn't before, but it changes every year in the CCBL. Developmental league, new players, potentially new coaches. It's not the same as in other leagues, as in college or as in the pros. Kelly Nicholson versus Scott Pickler, Orleans versus YD. It's really going to be fun to watch all season.
Next time the two coaches meet will be the 93rd time they've coached against each other, 2 long-tenured managers. But that's a wrap here from Eldridge Park. 0-0 final. The 2 teams tie. Tomorrow we'll be back live at Red Wilson Field. Brewster comes to Red Wilson Field to face the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. We'll be live at 4:50 for that 5 o'clock start. We'll see you then tomorrow. So long from Eldridge Field.